don't care how old that makes me knowing that, but I love the Drew Carey Show, and that intro still gets me hyped. And I think we all need to be a little bit hyped today as we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, a team that we all really thought were going to make the playoffs with Deshaun Watson. That didn't happen, and for some strange reason, I think some Cleveland Brown fans are okay with that. So, hey everybody, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic, and we're talking about the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland. Cleveland is a team I have a soft spot for. When I play Madden, when I watch them, for some reason, seeing that orange helmet and just the fan base, they go in there season after season when the team is probably going to get a 3 or 4 win season. It's just Cleveland's a team that you root for. There are teams in all levels, especially in football for me, even in college, where you just root for them. They win, you're happy for them. They lose, I guess it was expected. Cleveland is the ultimate underdog with history that rivals God when it comes to the sport. And it's just sad that a team with much history, much legacy, much impact to the game of football, that it's such a laughing stock. It is one of the worst franchises out there in all of sports, but it has so much history. And the city of Cleveland alone, I just feel like, okay, we got to stop making fun of Cleveland. They deserve respect. And every time they win the playoff, it feels like it's a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Well, good for you. You made the playoffs. You're not going too far. Okay, come on back. Okay. All right. That's what it feels like Cleveland is. And all the players that get week in, year in and year out, they're like, hope, depressed, hope, reality, hope. Oh, it was a dream. It never happened. So for Cleveland, let's be real. When the season started, I didn't think we were going to do anything because, one, I thought the Bengals would be better, and I thought Pittsburgh was going to surprise us, and I thought Baltimore was going to rock you. So 7 wins, I had you guys anyway. You guys surpassed my expectation, went 11-6, and with the amount of quarterback play, you went in and out, like I'm like an audition process. It was like the lead, no, the lead, understudy, the lead, casting call, lead. You guys made the playoffs, and I will be lying with saying I was kind of rooting for you to be Houston, but it's like, both great stories. The Cleveland Browns resurrection versus the Houston Texans, introduction. And it's like, who do I root for? Go team! And I left it at that. But it was a sad exit for you guys after a phenomenal run, especially towards the end of the season. And Joe Flacco, he hasn't quit. Granted, last time I checked, he has not been signed by anybody, let alone the Browns, so we'll see. So I had you at last place, 7-10, but you passed my expectation. You won 11 games, you went to the playoffs, and you stunk, but I think when people thought Bengals are going to the playoffs, they were thinking it'll be led by Deshaun Watson. They're literally $500 million, okay, not a core, but $200+ million man. It's still a lot of money guaranteed. To the point where it's like, he could suck, and you still got to pay him. Cleveland, you're a little bit desperate, a little bit, and with all the amount of quarterbacks in the draft, and some of them might go to the AFC side, you might be dealing with a bad investment when everyone else is taking a risk on a gamble that could produce success. Who knows? But let's talk about your best game. To me, I think your best game is a game that a lot of people probably were more anticipating as it's more about them than you. And it was a matchup that we were seeking in the playoff. Week 16 versus the Houston Texans at Houston. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your best game. Pardon me. For multiple reasons. One, it was led by Joe Flacco. Amari Cooper went off. Seriously, Amari Cooper probably had a Red Bull and a Sensu bean and went Super Saiyan 3 in that game. 11 receptions, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was the team. Which moments like this, I can't help but as a Dallas Cowboy fan thinking, are you sure you don't regret letting Cooper go? Are you sure? Sure. Because I'm not. I think Cooper has gotten much more physical over the years. Maybe because he had to, or maybe because, he eating good. I don't know. But he feels more solid as a physical receiver than he was when he first got drafted by the Raiders. And I'm really, really glad that Cooper is still showing great performance like this to kind of like show pretty much a lot of the NFL that age is really just a number. And I feel like that should be like the theme of the NFL for players that are playing into the early 30s, late 30s, and sometime in the 40s. Brady. That age is just a number, and hopefully, and plus sports medicine has gone way beyond what it was, so I can't help but feel like Cooper going off was a great success. I mean, Flacco had 368 yards. Like I said, 265 went to one man who wore number 2. So, but then again, Houston had Mills. You had Mills. So maybe you can say that's not the best game. The Houston Texans weren't at full strength. I'm like, you're right. But what I have to kind of push back on, one, the Browns have one of the better defenses, if not the best defenses. Myles Garrett won. Fine. In commemoration to his, defensive player of the year, I got myself a Myles Garrett pop. Sorry, not bobble, a pop. At MegaCon, when I went to MegaCon. Yes, MegaCon sold football player pops, because that was weird too. But that's how much I'm commemorating his season with Cleveland. Cleveland. There's a rhyme there. So, there you go. I'll put him back later. So, the Cleveland had one of the better defenses, unappreciated. Chubb got injured. So, why I keep saying Bengals? It's Browns. The Browns had so many adversity against them with injuries that, of course, I had to find a game that showcased, look at Cleveland, look what they're doing. They still rock. Gotta bring that joke in there somewhere. Yes, they went off. The Houston defense, we thought with Anderson and everything, that they were still formidable. I mean, Ryan is a defensive-minded coach. We thought he would find a way to go against, turnover-happy Joe Flacco and his age and all that, and they didn't. And the game was at Houston, so it was even more of an impact. Cleveland, now granted, they smacked them back in the play when it mattered, so quite frankly, it didn't matter. But to me, this was the game that showed Cleveland that Cleveland is going to make the playoff. Cleveland is on a hot run. Cleveland is too hot to handle, and we need to be appreciative that we're seeing something amazing in sports, and we should all be at least admiring that. So, Cleveland, best game, you rock. But you had a worse game. Now, granted, your worst game took place a couple of weeks before this one, so we're not going to harp too much. But it was a game against the Denver Broncos. Now, granted, you did have a rookie quarterback in the franchise as you were trying to find your identity. Going through your regular season, in this, you had Watson, you had Thomas Robinson, you had Walker, you had Watson again, then you had Thomas Robinson, then you had Flacco, and then at the end you had Driscoll. But that was at the end when you already locked your playoff spots. It didn't really hurt that much. But yeah, you literally went to the playoffs with 11 wins, not like a 9-8 you sneak your way in. You had 11 wins with 4 or 5 different quarterbacks. A lot of them were drastically different on the scale from, old veteran, on the couch before I got here to I got paid a lot of money to rookies, kind of rookies, not really proven enough. And you still made the play with 11 wins, something that teams that didn't have your situation barely didn't win 10. Looking at you, Tampa. So, Cleveland, your worst game was against Denver Broncos, which Denver was a team that we were all thinking, maybe Russell Wilson and the and Peyton have not really. Russell Wilson had 134 yards passing, the same number as Thomas did. Difference is, one went to 2 Super Bowls, one won, and the other one is a rookie. So as much as you want to say, oh, it's their worst game, the Broncos didn't just go, here you go, worst game for us. No, looking at the game, it was just, you got 12 points. 29-12 was the score. But you just felt like the Cleveland defense couldn't bail out the offense. Yard were 294 to 268. So it wasn't like the Broncos were, running up and down the field with ease. The Russian attack, the leading rusher had 65 yards. So a lot of this game was just, what? What happened? This was a game that you just watch and you just feel like nobody wants to win this, but someone's going to win it. And when the score eventually got, it was 17-12 by the fourth quarter. But when Russell Wilson passed that touchdown to Adam Truman and made it 24-12, I think that was the last. Why I keep saying Bengals? It's the Browns. The Browns, for whatever reason, I guess just say we can't handle it. Let's just march our way out as best we can. Yes, you had a quarterback situation you were still trying to figure out, but the Broncos were, I feel like, in a much worse situation. They actually had their starting quarterback. They actually paid money for him. You are a rookie. So what's your excuse? Or what's the reason? So to me, it's the worst game because it just looked like a bad game. Sometimes it's just the eye test. You watch a game going, this game looks bad. Like, this is the kind of game you go, you cannot harp on the Browns going, man, Browns, you suck. And we're like, well, yeah, we had a rookie quarterback. Okay. And then look at Denver. Denver, you didn't really flex either. So who do I give the trophy to? Who do I give the thumbs up? Because right now I'm gonna be like, yeah, y'all hit the showers and yeah, we're not talking about this game. Congrats to, I don't even know who won anymore, and then leave. It's the worst game because it looked sloppy, and the team that beat you wasn't really going like, ha ha! It was more like, yeah, we beat you. Anyway, what's for lunch? So, worst game, sloppy game all around, and the team that beat you probably wouldn't have beat you if you guys had, I don't know, just better. This game just felt like you should have won. Should have won because the Denver Broncos didn't really flex. Your MVP. Now, this is the first on this channel. The Cleveland Browns MVP, a person that I believe, yes, it's a person, goes to Kevin Stefanski. I can't pronounce his name. Kevin Stefanski. There you go. The Cleveland Browns head coach deserves MVP. Yes, I know it's the most valuable player, but I have done most valuable people and fans, and I'm doing most valuable person. This is a head coach who went through 5 different quarterbacks and had to make the conscious decision to bring in Joe Flacco and make it work. Not only that, but give him comeback player of the year. You can give him Amari Cooper. Yes, I can see Joe Flacco getting the nod. Even Myles Garrett, the guy who I just praised. Yes, but Myles Garrett did what we all thought. He was a first overall pick. He flexed. He finally got his reward. He got what he deserved. Kevin did with the quarterback situation, a position that people can draft first-round pick quarterback from Ryan Leaf to Jamarcus Russell to Jameis Winston to Andrew Luck and still not be successful with them for reasons. He did it. And if he would have went to the Super Bowl or even further, or even won a playoff game, he would have been a much greater success than what he already was. He's a great coach, and what he did gives Cleveland Brown, wow. Oh, tongue twister. Hope that with a good coach, he can win with anybody. Now, that's not always true, but what he did, he can win with anybody. So to me, Kevin is your MVP because he kept the team together when everything just says, let's just scrap it and let's hope for something better. Kevin is your MVP. He deserves it. Browns, your grade you get for the season is going to give it an A for outstanding, overcoming adversity. You guys deserve an A. You won 11 games with 5 different quarterbacks in your rotation. You guys won in the division that was clearly meant for everyone else but you. Even the Steelers were considered to be more favorable than you when the season started, okay? And Russell, the guy who beat you in your worst game, is now a Steeler. So payback. So you surpassed expectations. Yes, you don't want to win a playoff game. But with all the things that was happening, I think probably what, week 8, no one was even considering you guys going to the playoffs. And then when Joe Flacco got announced that he's going to be playing for the Browns and he's going to be starting, no one, including I, was thinking, well, Cleveland's just going to try to salvage the season. And now they start thinking about what they're going to do with the draft picks. Are they going to get Caleb Williams? Are they going to get, Drake May? Or Jalen? The conversation probably started already about who's going to replace the Browns now that Watson has proven to be inconsistent for reasons of injuries, play, behavior, food choices of food trucks, whatever. Is A for Cleveland. They deserve it. They really rock. All right, last time I'm doing that. So that is the Cleveland Browns. So we have 2 teams left, and the 2 teams that probably the more of the face of the AFC North. But we're going to talk about a team that I feel like is made drastic changes this offseason with their quarterback play. So we're gonna continue by going to Pittsburgh and talking about the Steelers and their whole situation, which I feel like is saying they're taking this seriously. All right, Pittsburgh, I'm listening. So until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you very much for watching.